Guys, Kristen here. I just wanted to drop a quick video. I know I haven't posted in over a month. This month I celebrated day 14,600 of being a girl. Woohoo! Just kidding. Yeah, my 40th birthday. Didn't really celebrate, just had a few hard root beers, some ice cream, and cried. But I found out that actually Tom MacDonald is releasing a new video this Friday, so I will be reacting even if I have to force myself because I can't watch the video otherwise. Anyway, thank you to all my supporters who have remained subscribed even though I didn't post anything. I've just been going through a hard time as usual, and I guess it's even harder than usual. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of pointless because I feel like maybe I should start a new channel. I feel like my first live reaction, first time reaction was in December for Ghost, and I got a good amount of views like right away, like surprisingly blown out of the water kind, and it kind of set me up for disappointment because Tom released End of the World in March, and and my views on that are totally tanked, and I feel like my channel is probably the dreaded shadow banned for whatever reason, probably because I react to the stuff I react to, and I feel like some of the stuff I react to maybe I should have just not, other than Tom MacDonald, because Tom MacDonald stuff seems pretty safe. I feel like I shouldn't have done some requests that I did. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm kind of debating whether I should start over again or start another channel where I could just talk about stuff that's on my mind, because I do have a lot on my mind that I'm afraid, I'm kind of afraid to talk about. I don't know. I kind of debated before I even started doing reactions on this channel about starting a new one without my, name on it, my real name. But then I said, screw it. I already have this channel, just do it here. And now I'm just like, I don't know. So I don't know if anybody actually watches this. I just wanted to get some opinions. Do you think I should start a new one or continue to do this one, but also maybe start a new one for other kinds of content, like just me talking about my thoughts, my life, that kind of stuff? I have no life really, but I have a lot of thoughts. So, I don't know. Like, I'm like really stuck on like how to go on with this. I thought about maybe doing some, videos where I'm just like playing some games or something, and I'm pretty sure that wouldn't really be an interest in people looking for music reactions. I mean, maybe sometime, but not widespread. So I don't know. I'm just kind of torn in which way to go. I'm gonna, because I really love doing the music reactions, but yeah, I don't know. It brings up a lot of emotion for me because music does bring a lot of emotion, and it's kind of exhausting. And like, I really love doing content. I really do. I love to talk, but I constantly feel like I have to hold back. Then I watch other people, both small creators and definitely larger creators, like, the ones with like large followings, and sometimes I feel like they catch a nerve, and I feel like, going off in a video of my own. But I'm kind of scared because, I mean, I know you respond to somebody like that, and not in a bad way, but either way, you're gonna get people who like that person that are gonna take it the wrong way regardless. I mean, I get it. Trust me. There are people that say things about, say, Tom MacDonald, and I'm here like wanting to fight, literally. Not literally, but you know what I mean? Like somebody says a bad word about Tom MacDonald, and I'm ready to like just be like, screw you, you're over, whatever. So I get it, but at the same time, I feel like there's room for fair disagreement, and then there's just straight out like, oh, you know, not really understanding. Like, I feel like a lot of times with Tom MacDonald, people make assumptions and say stuff, and I'm like, have you even listened to an actual album of his, or are you only going based on, you know, his music that he's released, you know, videos for? So, yeah, I don't know, I'm just kind of torn in a million directions, because I really want to do more content, but then sometimes I start recording, and I can't look at the camera, or I just say, you know, I'm not gonna be able to do this. And then sometimes I rewatch it and I say, yeah, I think that's, you know, fine. And then at the same time, there's a part of me is like, don't post this. People are gonna go after you one way or another. So I'm torn in, like I said, a million directions with what I want to do. I love music and want to continue to do that, but I also have a lot of thoughts and opinions, and I feel like there's some stuff that I could speak on that could bring a different perspective all around, because I have disagreements with all sides on some things, but I know that opens me up for hate from both sides. And the thing is there's a particular end that I tend to watch for content, you know, I admit, and there are people that I respect as content creators, but I don't agree with everything they say. But then again, if I did, then I'd be a sheep. You know, even if it isn't a sheep on the left side, it would be a sheep for the right side, and that's not what I am in any way. I'm not a sheep for anybody. I'm a sheep for myself, I guess, if that's even possible. And I know that it's not popular to be kind of like in the middle these days. It's popular to, you know, pick a side on everything, and there's some things that I could do that, but there's other things that I'm just like, I wish we could just all get along. But I know that that's not possible. Sadly, I know that's not possible. So that's why there's a need for stuff like the Daily Wire and stuff, which I totally respect it, and I watch the content, and I sometimes agree, sometimes disagree, but it's kind of like nerve-wracking, like wanting to be like, can we stop dividing each other so much? Because I feel like there's people who watch that content, and I'm wondering, do they all agree with what they're saying when it comes to certain things? Like, I'm not talking about the gender stuff. Like, I think that's totally out of hand, honestly. I think people should be who they want to be, but it's gotten completely crazy. I don't think you should force people to call you whatever, you know, certain things. But there's other stuff that I'm more affected by, that I feel like, screw it, I'm just gonna say it. There's a lot of things, because of the whole body positivity stuff, which I'm totally not behind. I think it's a load of bull. You know what? I'll say it straight up. I think it's BS. I think it's lies. I think it's people lying to themselves. I mean, if that helps get them through the day, then great. but I'm not down with that. I'm not going to sit here and say I love who I am, I love how I am, I love how I look. I don't. Never have, never will, probably. But that doesn't mean that I want to sit there and think that it's okay for people to demean everyone who looks a certain way. Like, I feel, sometimes I do feel, like, kind of slighted, like, by certain audiences, or certain people, I guess, not audiences, yeah. Well, actually, audiences probably would be the proper word. Like, you have somebody like Tim Pool, who's very, very, I'd say he's pretty understanding on pretty much everything. He's, like, he calls himself a traditional liberal, and, actually, at a time and place, I thought I was a liberal, so maybe that's somewhere around where I would fit in. But, I mean, he does talk about stuff, situations, with, like, plus-size models and stuff, and personally, I'm not, like, either way. I'm not like, oh, don't do it, do it, whatever. Actually, the thing about it is, I know people are like, oh, well, it's promoting something. No, it's not promoting shite. It's really not. I mean, the thing is does somebody like me need clothes? Yeah, I think we are all going to vote that yes, indeed, that you do not want to see me come up here without clothes. Okay? Let's all, I think we could all agree with that. So, should I have to look at a coat hanger, model clothes, and say, oh, that would look great on me? It just, now, would I ever do it, volunteer to do it? Probably not. Would I ever volunteer or for pay model, say, underwear? Frick no. Not in a million years. I know there are people into that kind of stuff, fetishes and stuff, but I'm not down with that. No, never. In a million years. But am I gonna go after somebody who chooses to do that because a company hires them? No, because you know what? There are women that want to see what it would look like on them. And face it, in this day and age, there are a lot of people who fall into that category. So why not? We've had models that were emaciated for decades and decades, like half a century at least. And so why the frick, I know people complain about them too, don't get me wrong. The thing is oh my, yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about this because it's very touchy, and I know that some things are not allowed to be talked about on YouTube, like EDs, certain disorders with food, eating disorders, that kind of thing. But the thing is there are all kinds, and the thing is I grew up from probably around 14 or 15 in the early internet with like the Yahoo groups and e-groups and stuff, and message boards for people with EDs. So, because it was something that I've dealt with for as long as I can remember, of different ends of the spectrum. And so everyone I've ever known did, no matter what eating disorder they had, none of them hated me because of how I looked. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are missing. That it's not, okay, it might be cheesy, but there is a whole old saying. It's not what you eat, it's what's eating you. And when it comes down to it, everyone who deals with that kind of issue, regardless of what end of the spectrum you sit at, what you look like. It's all has a deeper root, and most people who suffer from that are not gonna hate on somebody else because they suffer from another extreme or another whatever, or they present in a different way. And it just really hurts that regular people can't understand that. Then again, regular people who have it's really extremely hard because there is, I don't really want to name names, but there is a major content creator with a show who has spoken that when they were younger, teenager into their early 20s, went through an eating disorder. And they are so harsh when it comes to people who are at the opposite end of that whole thing. The thing is I'm not for anybody harming themselves in any way. But you having that attitude about anybody is just... The thing is I feel like the body positivity is truly... It's equivalent to it's hurting people who just happen to look a certain way. Kind of like the whole, gender movement is actually hurting people who wouldn't, in the past, would have been looked past and not judged quite as bad. I feel like the same thing is happening because of people like, I don't want to name names because, name anybody in the body positivity movement. I don't know. It's just extremely hard to see the judgment, and it makes it harder for me to want to get up here and talk on camera because I don't want to bring this stuff up. I'm afraid that it's going to put a big old target on my forehead. I've been lucky to not get many bad comments related to how I look, other than apparently having no upper lip. See, that's the thing. Like, that's the last thing I ever thought I'd get, when I started doing videos. Like, that's literally the last thing I ever thought I'd get, is something like that. And so I've been lucky, but I'm afraid that if I start talking about stuff that I feel like needs to be talked about from more in between, in the middle, coming from the middle, a more moderate position, like, I'm not for this whole body positivity thing. It's bull. Like, I don't want people to hate themselves, but when it comes down to it, I know how I feel in my head about myself. I know how I have since I was a little kid. Ever since I was a little kid. See, here's something I can relate to with, say, the people who feel like they were born in the wrong body. I'm female. I was born a female. I will die a female. I feel like a female, etc. But ever since I was a very little kid, I would literally, like, pray that I would wake up and not look like I do. Look how would be, however would make me acceptable to everybody else, I guess you could say. And so I understand in that aspect, feeling like you were born and trapped in the wrong body. I felt like that from a very, very young age. And I don't know if it was just because, I don't think it was even just because of society. I mean, yes, I was bullied very badly. And all that. But I feel like some of it was just innate. I just have this major conflict in my mind. I feel like, I don't know, like, I kind of remember being in like 3rd grade or something and just telling friends that I hated myself and that I thought I was a horrible person. And again, I don't know if that's because I was being bullied or if it's just that's my brain chemistry just was born like that. Or if it was, I had some problems at home because my dad was an alcoholic until I was like 8 or 9. So obviously there was struggles at home until I was in about 5th grade, 4th, 5th grade. We moved a lot because my mom would move me away, leave my dad. She would take me back to visit him, of course, and when he would get sober, we would move back in with him, and it went on like that for a few years in my early years. And then finally he got a DUI, and that was the end of it for him. He said he, went to one of his required classes, alcohol meaning things, and because he had to get his driver's license back in the state that he got the DUI, and he said he would go sober, obviously, because he wasn't dumb. And he said he could smell the alcohol in other people, and he said that right then, that turned him off. And he stopped then. And after that, he was just done. He was just done with alcohol. So that's what did it for him. And that was probably when I was around 9 years old, I think. And then I guess when I was going into 5th grade, they were able to get a VA loan because he was a veteran. And they bought a townhouse, and finally we had a stable home for a lot of years. We had the neighbors from Hades. That's another story. But he still had a lot of anger, but alcohol wasn't an issue anymore. My mom had her own issues when I was in my teens. While I was having my issues, she became addicted to gambling. I think it was probably actually around the time she was going into menopause. She was having severe mental breakdown, I guess you could say, or she was having some severe mental problems and developed a gambling addiction. So yeah, so that's another story also. But yeah, I guess I'm just saying that, yeah, I had a lot of different reasons to have bad thoughts and feelings about myself growing up. But you can't deny that other people have an effect on that. But that's not the only reason. I'm not going to blame it all on one thing or another. But I do say that I wish people would be more understanding, more empathetic. Oh yeah, this is me telling a story. I had brought up Tim Pool. He's very, very, I feel, empathetic about things. At the same time, yes, sometimes he could be very, like, go in hard on something, but overall, he's pretty empathetic. Just like, as long as you take responsibility for yourself, do what you're gonna do, basically. but there's some stuff missed in that, but okay. But the place where I have issues is I've made the mistake of looking at his comment sections on some of the videos related to that, and I see stuff like, let's bring back bullying, let's bring back shaming, and like that's supposed to help anyone. Trust me, if shaming worked, I would be freaking Paris Hilton. Okay? Screw everyone else. If self-hate made you a better person, made you look better, made you perfect, I'd be a freaking supermodel, okay? Well, I'm short, so that wouldn't happen, but you know what I mean. So, I don't know. This is really long, and I doubt I'm gonna end up posting it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I don't know. It's just some thoughts that are going around in my head, and it feels kind of good to get it all out, and I don't know. Nobody's probably gonna watch this, but just the thoughts that have been going on in my head, and if anybody wants me to go into more with some certain things over other things, that would be, I'd be happy to. I actually, weeks ago, or a month ago, I wrote down a few pages in a notebook that I got specifically for, planning out, videos that I wanted to talk about different topics, and I just haven't been able to bring myself to do it. But I feel like maybe I should. I just don't know whether I should start a new channel to do that, or if I should do that here and then continue to do my reactions, which I will be doing when I'm not sure which song it will be for yet, because I don't think he's announced, at least not the last of my saw. But Tom MacDonald will be releasing a new song on Friday, I believe the 28th, which will be 20 days after my 40th birthday. So happy late birthday, my one present. Thank you, Tom. Thank you for the late birthday present. Nobody else thought of me. You're very cool for thinking of me. Just kidding. But anyway, yeah. I guess that's all for now. I know I'm very scatterbrained. I know. I get it, but I'm sure there's stuff that I wanted to say or that I attempted to go into and then just went totally the opposite end. But hopefully I can maybe get my thoughts sorted out on something, especially if somebody puts me in a direction, like, do you want me to talk about X or Y? And I could actually put some notes down and, be like, okay, this is what I'm going to talk about, and just this. I'm not going to go from this to this to this to this. All over the place, bouncing left and right. Anyway, I guess that's all for now, and I hope you're having a good day, and hope to talk to you soon. Bye.